So everybody, welcome to Clutch's Corner. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. So we are going to start things off with Apple. Apple has a great fail 2 on it, especially after it's really been trying to push to the downside recently. You can kind of see the wall along here. It's been pushing it down. So it looks like it wants to fall for sure. Now the price targets are pretty simple. Yesterday's low, the day's low before that, and then we got to stretch on out to over here catch this low of the day and this low of the day. Now, these are just lows of days because that is the range that it can do, and there's not much in between these areas for it to even pivot off of. But if we do zoom into the 30-minute and we go all the way back over here, we can catch one extra pivot that it might hit beforehand, which is off of this candle right here, all the way from October 31st. That's how far back we're going for price targets go. Is it possible? Absolutely. These things happen all the time. What goes up must come down, and Apple is definitely screaming, "It might be me tomorrow." With that being said, let's go ahead and check out the price targets. Not price targets, the strike price. I'm looking at the 167.50 of next week's. If you do same week's contracts, they're going to be really inexpensive, and you might get your butt handed to you when it starts to retrace against you as far as money and percentages go. But if you get next week, then you have that nice little cushion because of the price to be able to manage your play a little bit easier. And it's pretty much going to be like that for the entire rest of the watch list that I'm giving. So next is QCOM. QCOM with a beautiful setup as well, pushing off of the exact same things. Definitely is giving itself a downtrend look right in here as well, especially considering the fact that there is one down here too, right? That you can kind of see. You can put it here. You can put it here. Either way, we are definitely staying beneath this, and we closed beneath this one, which is telling us, hey, we probably want to come to the downside. And it is looking like that setup is there for it. So we're going to move into the 30-minute time frame. First, I want to start off by saying that the final price target, because of range, is all the way out here from March 15th. That is the final PT that I think it has the range to go to tomorrow. It does have range to go more, but I'm just not going to chase it all the way down to here or anything. Let's move into the 30-minute time frame. All right, so starting things off, we're going to have this 2 right here. We can kind of see the top parts of these are all having trouble getting and staying above it. So there is an algorithm right here that we can see. We did bounce up. We put our toes in the water here and bounced right back up. Bottom of the 3 is going to have an algorithm as well that we're going to have to fight past. Then we're going to come touch this 1 right in here, right? And you can see how all of this is staying above it. You can see the algorithm a little bit more clearly now. And then the bottom of this failed too, zooming out over here because there is a push down and then it stops right in here and pushes back up. The bottom of this 2, not the failed 2, but the bottom of this 2 is the next spot that I can see is bouncing off of, where if you really look, if you got the keen eye for it, right, bouncing off of here, look at this, wicked it and then pushed right back down. Didn't have the strength, finally got the strength. And that is here is going to be that final price target. Whereas you can see these things, we're having a lot of trouble getting above and staying above, which tells us that there's clearly an algorithm there. And we're just going to be prepared for what it can do when we get there. And as far as price targets, strike prices go, 167.50 is what I'm looking at as well. Same thing. You know, if you get same day expiration contracts, you really are being a little bit risky. You know, there's always a risk to 0-day expiration contracts. There's no avoiding that just because of the price that they have. If it goes against you, it can really go against you price-wise. Okay. Amazon, beautiful fail too. It's getting so close to taking out that final price target for the yearly as well. But for tomorrow, this thing is screaming. Oh, excuse me. I need to put this one back on the yearly. Come back to the day. Here we go. This one's screaming that I'm coming down. Screaming, hey, I'm coming back down tomorrow, right? If we know anything about fail 2s, the strat gives us a unique point of view of, our entries here, and as close as this is, even though it's 20 cents, I'm not going to ignore yesterday's low. That would be crazy, right? I'm not going to ignore yesterday's low as a price target. Then this daily low right here, the 1 right here, and then the bottom of the 2 right here. So these 3 are all off of daily lows because of the range that this has to go. By zooming in, we're really not going to get any more information from it other than that. But there are a couple other PTs right in here, right in here. You can see how it stays above it right in here. You see that? See how it stays above it right here. And then below here, we shoot above it and then finally get back up. There's an algorithm here. And then, of course, the lows of the days, like I just broke down. Cat. This is more of an expensive ticker. Not going to lie to you. For a lot of people, they're not going to feel as comfortable spending this much amount on it. So with something like this, you actually could buy farther out. You could buy the 357.50. You wouldn't quite get in the money. You could even get the 360. This is much more affordable, and it doesn't have a terrible delta. It would be terrible if it was like 8 and you were like $8 of a delta versus 24 and you're spending 200 bucks on it. That's not worth it at freaking all. This is worth it. Why? Because this thing actually has the power to move the distance. As far as dollars go, this thing moved $12 today. So if it starts off tomorrow and does a thing, look at that. It takes it right to the final PT, which means that we have potential to move another $12 in your favor. So if you're getting a little bit farther out of the money in something like this and it moves $12, you're gonna make money because you do have a really good delta attached to it. If you do get 0-day expiration contracts, do I gotta repeat myself again? You're risky. You're being risky, right? And I'm not telling you not to take the risk. I'm just telling you that you are being risky, right? And you need to be aware of that risk. So with that being said, we have the bottom of this day, the bottom of this day, and the bottom of this day, and there are price targets in between those, all found off of the 30 minutos, right? This failed too right in here. Look at the choppiness in here. Look how it can't get above it. Finally, we break through that. We have a big power move to the upside. It's because we broke the algorithm. Bam. So when we come back down here, we're going to test that bad boy out first. The low of the day. In between that is going to be this right in here, where you can see all of this having a lot of trouble getting beneath it. Fighting it now, has trouble getting above it until finally it does. So there's an algorithm there, right? Pretty simple to see. Bottom of this two right here, where you can see this bad boy comes and wicks off of it as well. I'm not putting to the bottom of this because right here is where I think the real algorithm is. Why? Check it out. If you put this here, look at that wick off. Bink, can't get up, can't get up, can't get up. Finally gets up, can't get below. When an algorithm breaks, it'll typically switch. Buyers or sellers will protect that position that they fought and won. So that is CAT. And what I'm looking at for it, coin re-triggered the weekly today. Remember, it triggered the weekly the other day, and then it got down almost to PT3, and then it shot right back up again. And today we re-broke the weekly entry right in here, setting up a brand new failed 2 for us today to be able to take and make some money off of. Coin is a very expensive one as well, so I'm going to be suggesting the 235. Right? This is much more affordable with a nice delta than spending $1,000 per contract if you get same day expert contract. Right? Okay. Cool. 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 I'm glad we got it. Breaking things down into the 30 minutos, right? First PT, very obviously going to be right here, right? Where you can see we are unable to get above this spot this whole entire day, but then when we did, we shot up. So when we come back down, we're going to test that bad boy. Then we're going to test this failed 2 right here. And if you look, you can see that all this had a lot of trouble getting above it. A lot of trouble getting above it, which means, all right, so we're just going to be prepared for it. Bottom 3s typically have an algorithm in them. That's what made them 3s in the first place. As you can see, we had trouble getting below this. So these two PTs are like the top and bottom of the fight between the algorithms, the battle of the algorithms, I like to say. Then we'll come test out the bottom of this 2 and then the bottom of this 2, and then we're free sailing towards weeklies after that if it does keep going. And things can keep going, right? We definitely saw it today. Freaking AMD, on the monthly, right? Broke the monthly PT, already hit PT2, right? Or it's about to hit PT2. And just this distance alone, just that distance alone, was almost $7, right? Jesus, the whole thing moved incredibly today. $17. That's insane. But hey, if you just took the monthly play on it off of an actual signal, off of the monthly, you made some good bread today in just one day. I'm up 50% on the play. And that's exactly where I cut the majority of my contracts and I have my runners running. Anyways, I say all that to say we're going into Roblox next. Roblox. Roblox, you don't have to get super far out. These are very affordable contracts that everybody shouldn't have any issues really getting. 3650 is where I'm suggesting. Amazing delta. You know, you don't have to deal with too much theta and wonderful price. Moving into the 30 minutos. I should learn that in like 7 more different languages. Huh? What's the next language that I should say the 30 minutes in? What's the next language? Let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think the next language I should say the 30 minutes. I always go Spanish. Anyways, bottom of this 2 right here is going to be our first PT, and look at all the wicks, right? Look at how we can't get above it, can't get above it. Oh, we get above it, we're staying above it, we're staying above it, we're staying above it. Ooh, we're done. Ooh, we can't get above it. 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 Ooh, we do. Now we can't get below it. Now we can't get below it. Then we freaking do. All right, so pretty obvious to see. That's going to be where the first PT is. Second PT right in here, where all these things are wicking off of it and going back up, right? So PT2, PT3 is the bottom of this 2, not right here, not right here. All these things that kind of extend a little bit out past it are the false breaks, all false breaks, right? So definitely looking for that to be our third PT, fourth PT. Right here, off of this bad boy. Not here, not here. Again, it's just a wick. These are a little bit of a false break. When we get down to here where we bink, whipped right off of it, and then shot back up, what do you think is going to happen next time we get here in this spot? I don't know, but we're going to be prepared for it. And if it breaks through, we know that we can head right here to the bottom of this bad boy. Roblox looks really, really good for tomorrow. And then we will go to DG, Dollar General. Heck yeah, pay me Dollar General so I can go to the dollar store and buy the entire thing, please. Appreciate it. DG is a wonderful ticker to trade. I'm going to be looking at the 157.50 for this bad boy. You'll be in the money by the time you just barely break past PT2, and you'll get a lot of intrinsic value off of that. If you want to get a little bit further out, you could get the 155, but personally, I'm happy with the 157.50 and getting in the money as soon as possible, and then just sitting on that fat delta as it continues to ride in my direction. With that being said, let's go ahead and go to the 30 minutos, right? I know, y'all decide. What do you want? What do you want? Whoever puts a comment and gets the most likes, that's the one that I'll do. I'll learn that language in 30 minutes, or I'll learn how to say 30 minutes in that language. It's John Travolta from Phenomenon. I could learn an entire language with a taxi ride somewhere. It's like 20 minutes. That'd be cool. Anyways, first PT right in here. You can see these things wicking off of it. Next one right in here, where as you can see, these things are unable to get above it until it finally does. Then right here off of that. And then right here, right? Why right here? Because look, can't get above it. It's trying, doesn't have the strength, tries again, immediately is like, nope, pushes down to this final PT, which is the bottom of this 3. You can see all the contention right in here at the same level, including all the way over here. And yes, keen eyes will notice oh my gosh, it's almost like majority of the market's traded by algorithms. We just got to learn how to spot them. Gotcha. So DG's looking very good for tomorrow. Tailing things off with VLO. VLO. How low? VLO. You feel me? All right, 180 is the strike price that I'm going to be looking at. You're going to get in the money in like immediately when you get to price target 1, you'll be in the money. So you'll have a nice fat intrinsic value, a really big delta to go with it. All these things are very advantageous for your monies, right? Moving into the 30-minute time frame. Classic case of steps here, guys. This is just a classic case. Look at the stairs. We're walking up the stairs, right? If we were in calls this entire day, where are we going to have stop losses? At the lows of candles, right? So if we break down here, there's going to be people with their stop losses here. Then there's going to be people with stop losses here, here, here. Right here off of this 3, we're looking at this wall that it freaking hits. And if we extend even farther past that, we can come test out this. But this is super easy to see the steps, right? It's not like we got to go out of order or anything. This thing just went to the upside. And tomorrow, if it starts coming back down, it's going to plow through all these people's stop losses. They're going to have to make a decision at some point. Are they going to fight for their position, protect it, or just stop out, take their bread, and be good to go? You got to think about it. If they got into the calls here and then it just kept going up all day, if their stop loss is here, they're making money when it walks away. Then it liquidates them from the trade, pushes things in our favor. We make money. I hope you learned something from this. God bless. I love making bread with y'all, and I look forward to doing it again tomorrow like we did today. God bless again. See you soon.